Delphine is it Chow?
Chui.
Chui.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chui, like Chewbacca.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Chewie. That's how you spell my surname.
Nice.
Welcome to the Robbie Show, where conversation will flow. Planification, overload the nation. Plug the headphones in, let's go.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. I'm good. Thank you.
Good?
Yeah.
Thank you for opening your home.
Of course.
And
you might recognise the space.
Letting us / me film here.
Absolutely.
Just obviously I'm starting a podcast, trying to start a podcast.
I'm starting a thing. Do you know what? I thought podcasts were always audio only, but everyone always says podcast. It just means an interview, video, audio. Yeah, that was such a millennial thing of me to say. I was I thought it was just audio.
But I think the game is already pod. That is the colloquial. Yeah,
that's going to make me a bit cooler.
The correct, yeah. But I'm probably starting a bit late. I think you're probably about 6 years late.
Yeah. But the thing is you just reinvent the wheel. There's nothing new under the sun. So you might as well.
Yeah, that's biblical, isn't it?
Of course.
That's Ecclesiastes. Some wisdom.
We'll just
Solomon
speak in scripture.
Okay, nothing new under the sun. But so there's kind of stuff that...
but you can make your mark on it.
Yeah, stuff that's old that you can put kind of your own weird thing on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And each one of us is unrepeatable.
Yeah.
So everyone has someone to say. Something to say. Someone to say. Someone to say something to. There you go.
Everybody's unique. Everybody has got their own stamp.
Yeah.
So we're already spitting out the truths.
There you go.
We're already making ground.
Making wholesome pod.
Truth bombs, yeah.
The fruitfulness.
But I just really want to speak to like interesting people who...
Am I interesting?
We can
we'll
back
judge
up.
that.
Interesting people who kind of have an interesting worldview.
Yeah.
Believers,
100%.
some non-believers. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you because you're basically like a dating expert, right?
So funny.
You're like the queen of dating.
Well... Oh, so I used to be a magazine journalist, and in that, yeah.
Oh my God! Oh,
you didn't know that?
I knew you was a writer, but I didn't know that you was what magazine was it?
So like Glamour, Grazia, Marie Claire, all the kind of women's magazines, yeah. And we
so you
obviously
passionate about fashion. That was your
passionate about fashion. I was really passionate just about like culture, lifestyle, so it was everything from like books and food, to, like celebrity and all these things. But did used to talk a lot about dating trends in those days.
Okay.
And I think like when I really had my conversion or my reversion back to faith, when I hit 30, that was like 2020-ish.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my. I had no idea this was so fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh.
Oh, wow.
I'm a baby Christian.
Oh my God. But you've like, you made like leaps and bounds within that short time span.
Honestly.
You're already like having a voice.
Rob,
being a leader, an advocate.
Well, I had a real Job moment. Like
a Job moment.
A book of Job moment where like I had quite like, I don't know, I guess like a cancellation or I just...
What?
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
You don't know this? So because you only know the new creation of me, post-Christian. No, but I really had to change my life completely. So like I was living obviously like a secular life. I had this career in journalism, come back to faith, and I was so passionate about my faith. Maybe a little bit overzealous because you know how you get when you realize the truth.
Than non-zealous.
Then lukewarm. I definitely wasn't lukewarm. But I just don't think I realized quite how sometimes the world can be a bit hostile to some Christian views. So for me, it was like I put up something on my Instagram about going to a pro-life party, and it just from there it was really like like difficult, just because obviously different people have different views on that, and I think the magazine industry tends to be very liberal in terms of like...
Well, most artistic and creative industries are pretty much quite liberal. Unless you have some sort of faith, you grew up like faith principles, I think.
Yeah, so I think because of that, it was just, and I just had no idea that would be like a kind of, I don't know, sticking point.
Oh, so you were shocked with the response?
I generally was, yeah. Whoa. Like people were like, you were so courageous. I was like, no, I was just dumb. Like I was just ignorant, to be honest, because, you know, I was raised in the whole like going to diversity, equality, inclusivity classes at work. Like, so I thought me being Christian is like wonderful and great and would be welcomed. And I guess like cute Christianity is welcomed, but not necessarily like
Christianity as a hobby, like a nice...
Like it's just like a little
class,
cultural
class.
thing, you know. Like that's cute. You want to wear a cross? That's nice. That's nice. You want to Sabbath? That's cute. Yeah. So basically just had this very like 180 shift in my life where I had to kind of look at the way I was living, look at what the work I was doing. I already wasn't feeling that fulfilled. So I started my charity. I've got like a befriending charity that just helps to connect older people who are lonely with people with dogs. And then we go out and about with them. And I already had done that kind of before my conversion back.
Sort of like a dating app for dogs and old people.
Well, like it's not dating, but it's like matching. It's all about community. Yeah, just kind of like pairing. What? No. But like getting people out and about and in community, that's something I'm really passionate about because I think when I came back to Christianity, genuinely did not have one Christian friend. Just felt really isolated. And so I think for me, it's such like a passionate point. But anyway, back to your point, how I'm here, I have no idea. But dating stuff I used to talk about in my magazine days, and then post coming back to Christ, got in touch with Salt, and then I've been doing some stuff for them. So they're a Christian dating app. And it's been interesting because I've been like unlearning a lot about what the world tells you about dating and then learning kind of like the right way, and then also having to just figure out the whole dynamics of trying to date as just like a good human, you know, like not ghosting, not being unclear. And so it's really not that I'm an expert, it's just that I've had to learn and I just want to share what I've been learning.
No, it's great. You definitely are a voice and it's really good. How long did the cancellation like last for? Was this like a long period or?
I mean, I've not gone back to that industry. So this was back in April 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So recent.
Yeah, quite recent. Gosh. Quite recent. But I think God was just very kind to me of being like, because he definitely was telling me that wasn't the right industry for me at this time in my life. And then I couldn't quite cut the cord. So I think he was like, I'll burn this bridge for you. It's all good. I got you. Yeah. And I was like, okay. But I mean, since then definitely have been given everything back tenfold. But it's just a very different place if you met me 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's just such a short time. I can't believe that. Wow. So what's been like the biggest adjustment that you've had to make since coming back into, what's the biggest kind of...
I think like not being a people pleaser as much and not sitting on the fence, because I think before I was kind of liked by everyone because I just didn't really have opinions. Like I would just be like, I was like, I would just pivot to whatever people were saying if it sounded like it was kind and tolerant. And I don't think I was very convicted personally. So I think that's been my biggest shift, is like really understanding why I believe things, understanding my values, and being okay with standing by them, even if they're not necessarily the majority view or the popular view. And that's been really difficult for me because before I just would get on with anyone.
Just get along, live a quiet life.
Yeah, just sit on the fence about things. So that probably has been the most different thing, to be honest. Living by your values. Well,
and was it like a specific moment when you came back? Was it like this spirit, like did an angel visit you?
Yeah, I got thrown off a horse and blinded. No, I didn't. This wasn't a Paul at Damascus moment, but it was kind of like quiet and long to some extent, like maybe 1 or 2 years. But I think when I had this moment where kind of my heart was like, oh, okay, I get all of this and I believe it. It genuinely was like a very radical shift. And it was funny because you get a lot of people who are like, you know, like I was reading this book and I just intellectually, I got it. Well, for me, it's like, I just felt it. And I know that's and it's a very like female thing to say that, but it's like, I just felt that it was true. And then I knew it. And then I was like, oh boy, I'm going to have to rechange my life. And then ever since then, it's just been like studying, reading the Bible, understanding, building community, talking to other Christians and figuring out how to be like 100% holy Christian, but also normal and cool.
That's hard though, isn't
That's
it?
actually really hard.
Not many can carry that space, carry the weight of being cool and Christian.
No, honestly,
that is the one thing that really. That's why I am so reluctant sometimes. It's just because it's not very cool club, is it? It's like very cringe.
Sometimes. And like I definitely went through a period of time when I was just like wearing brown maxi dresses. Like I looked a bit like a Franciscan monk. Or like I think, I don't know. And I definitely had a time where I was like not engaging with popular culture. So like I wasn't watching any TV.
Wilderness season.
100%. Desert.
What do they call it? The...
Monk mode,
yeah. Hermit.
I was definitely hermiting,
season.
and I was just really like just not engaging with anything, music, TV, film, and it was quite hard. And I think I had to almost like lose myself to find myself again. And I'm still like now in this period of time where I'm like, okay, I want to live like me, but like me, the version that God created, rather than like medom. More like Christendom, living in Christendom, not just like medom, because it was all about it's all about
I like
you.
Medom. I like that.
Well, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
We shouldn't live in medom. We should live in
I like the
Kingdom of Christ.
I like the coined term medom.
Thank you.
Okay.
Coined by Delphine Chui today. No, I didn't. Stole it from someone. Don't know who.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to use it for sure now.
I'm getting a crick in my neck looking at you.
Yeah, I've already got quite a stiff neck, so this is interesting. Yeah, apologies if I just look straightforward like an autistic robot.
Are you autistic?
No, I don't.
Well, we all are. We all are.
Really?
We're all on the spectrum. We're on the spectrum.
I think recently I might have a bit of
ADHD.
Yeah, but a little bit. Like I don't want to make it my whole
identity.
Thing. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people. Well. No shade. But
but it's true. But it's even like, anxiety, these things kind of become your identity. And I think it's really easy to then label yourself and then to fall into that, not necessarily a victim mentality, but just feeling like this is going to rule my life. This is going to define who I am.
Yeah, it kind of restricts you. And it limits you. And I don't want to like build an audience of the fact that I have ADHD.
Yeah. But maybe your ADHD is also your superpower because you're like, I'm going to edit, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
No, I wouldn't describe it as a
squirrel.
Superpower.
Yeah,
I would definitely not describe it as a superpower. I think it's helpful in creative lanes. But in terms of actually progressing in the world, I would say it doesn't really help.
It makes you more, it's difficult,
tougher, It's tougher.
And we're living in a time where it's like we're next day delivery people.
Yeah, I think everyone has some sort of ADHD.
Yeah, well, because now our attention spans are just decreasing so much. Like people probably aren't even watching this anymore.
What I hate is like I have ADHD and I am unique. I am this special kind of being. I am different from the world. So I think probably most people have some
100%.
sort of it. I've just got it a little bit more. I wouldn't even say I have ADHD.
But we're living in like this civilizational moment where it's like the
I like
digital
civilizational moment.
Didn't coin that either.
Phrases.
But didn't coin that either. But when like the digital and like scrolling, like everything is designed for us to just be dopamine addicts. And I think when you're training your brain to do that, you're just constantly looking for like new things. It's really hard for your brain to understand how to focus. But I heard this thing recently, which has really helped me, which is that our brains are processors, not storage units. Ooh. So I've gotten really like, I always have to have a notebook with me. And anytime I have a thought of like, I need to do that, I just write it down because it frees your brain to then be able to process what it needs to process.
Yeah, I definitely do that. My iPhone is just full of just random notes. But do you feel like you can focus? Like if you run a charity, you must have to be quite focused and disciplined. Do you not think?
It's quite tricky because I run it completely voluntarily outside of work, like outside of full-time work. So it does require a lot of discipline and it requires like a lot of just like, okay, I'm going to sit down and do this for an hour. But I actually do find it really difficult to do one thing at a time.
Okay.
And I also, some of it has been at the sacrifice of sleep. So I've been really trying to now like say after 8, like no devices, because I'm one of those people, my flow is probably like 10 to 1 a.m. I can get like a whole day's work done in those 3 hours.
I'll be in bed by 10.
No, but the thing is now I'm trying to be asleep by 10 or in bed by 10. And I do feel a lot better because I was burning out physically. So I think it's trying to figure out how you can do it. But yeah, I think it's just having that focus mode. Like sometimes it's just like, okay, I'm going to do this for an hour.
Just getting that deep work, uninterrupted.
Yeah. Because apparently every time you get interrupted, it takes 12 minutes for you to get
reset.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So definitely important.
Yeah. Christian dating.
That was a really smooth segue. It was just like silence and then Christian dating. Like, okay. Yes, let's do it. Let's talk it.
We don't have to talk about it.
No, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
All right. What's your...
I'm going to sit the way you are with your legs out.
Okay. What's your experience of it so far? After being shortly transitioned into, not that way, but into this new world.
I mean, that is the right.
What has have you seen like a big comparing? Is there a big difference?
Yeah. What, like Christian dating versus
just
secular?
normal, call it normal dating.
Well, yeah, I feel like I have been in a lot of environments where there's like young Christian adults together, but the men and the women just aren't really taking chances on each other. Like sometimes it can be quite, it's just strange because it's like, I feel like I've got quite a lot of exposure to men similar age as me, like in a way that I probably haven't had since like university.
Right.
Because, you know, I do think the Christian
Of
community.
social media. Oh, and the
just Christian like, community. You know, it'll be like, oh, a young adult event or whatever like this, or these kind of communities. But I don't feel like things really happen.
Okay. You don't think guys are putting the chips in?
I don't.
Oh, wow.
I don't. And I think because and I don't know, rightly or wrongly, I've taken a more traditional stance where I'm like, I think a man should pursue the woman. So like I am like trying to learn how to quote unquote drop the hanky and like give hints like, okay, you know, like I'm open to be asked for a coffee. Yeah. But then I think that we have this paralysis where it's like, okay, we've got a date to marry. So I can only take my future wife or my future husband out for a coffee. And I think then it becomes like, we're so scared to make dating transactional or to date in the same way as the world, you know, that kind of disposable dating, that sometimes I think that actually paralyzes us from doing it at all.
100%. I think the stakes, it's very high stakes very quickly. Yeah. And I think in the Christian world, like marriage is seen as like some sort of success marker and achievement, and
100%.
everybody wants it like that's rather than like career or anything else in the church. If you're married, it's
you're leveled up.
Yeah, it's like
you're like level 52.
He got to the mountaintop.
Yeah,
he got to the mountaintop. Let's all look at him. Wow, we salute you. And like churches, like, you know, they always introduce pastors like this is such and his wife, and it's very like family is more successful than where you are. Than
your like interior faith life necessarily. Completely. I completely agree because like when I came back to my faith, I was already 30. And I think at that point I, you know, like understanding really God's design for love and marriage, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so behind. And I think I got really quite obsessed actually, where I was a bit like, I don't think I can be a good Christian until I'm married. Oh, and or I almost felt...
I just want to apologise on behalf of the church.
Or you just you feel like you're just not complete. You know, you feel like you've not quite done it right and it's very off-brand. You know, like there was like a lot of internal shame, and I think that made me come back with a lens of, I'll be honest, like desperation. So it was kind of like, okay. And then that led me to a place where I think I was quite, I was probably always thinking about like, when am I going to meet my husband? When am I going to meet my husband? And everything.
But more when you became a Christian again.
Yeah, those first couple of years, I think, were just kind of like very hyper focused. And led me into some situations where I was in relationships or dating people who I was like, great, we're both Catholic, we're both Christian, but then not necessarily looking at if we connected in other ways. Like I think I idolized Christians and kind of just thought we were all, I don't know, we'd all just get on with each other. Everyone be my best friend.
Regardless of personality.
Yeah.
Compatibility.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then I think like I did start to feel like lacking. Oh. Yeah. And that was
I definitely relate. So it's not just a female thing. I think it's across the board. Like you feel that you're not good enough, chosen or whatever, lacking. But
exactly. And it obviously, like, it is the ideal design. Like it says in the Bible, you know, like God knew, you know, man shouldn't be alone.
God is pro-marriage.
Yeah, completely pro-marriage and pro, you know, we're not meant to live in isolation. And I think that's why, like, I do think community is the antidote. I just think community and confidence, and you can only really get confidence from like building your own competence. So it's like, you know, leaning into your strengths and stuff. And also just living a life of joy and fulfillment. So I think for me, one of my friends once said to me, she was like, you know, she's single, and she said, I just want to be found glad. Like when my husband finds me, I want him to find me glad.
Not sad.
Not sad. Like, and I just really loved that. And I was like, yeah, like, of course there is like a hole because we haven't reached that part of our life yet, that kind of season, like to create our own family with someone. But
I don't know if the hole ever gets, do you think the hole ever gets filled up?
As in even when you're married with children? I mean, probably there is an ache that only God can fill, right?
Yeah.
There's a really amazing St. Augustine quote.
A little bit though.
Sure.
Yeah,
well, definitely. And also because obviously there's a St. Augustine quote, which is, my heart's restless until it rests in you, like in God. So like, of course there'll be a restlessness that only God can really fill. But obviously if you feel called towards family and marriage, it is going to be hard. And you're seeing your other friends get married, having their 3rd, 4th, 5th children.
People like who got divorced and then got remarried, they've like lapped you.
Oh my gosh, I've seen that with widows. Widows, like people who are, you know, widowed in their 30s. I mean, you know, that's really tough. And they're married again. And I'm like, I've not been married or widowed. And they're on their second marriage.
What you would give to be widowed? What you would give?
No, although sometimes I do. I'm like, okay, I guess. Because, you know, there's all these statistics where it's like, if you reach 35 and you're still single, congratulations, because you avoided your first divorce, which is just so awful. And I'm not pro-divorce, but I was just like, well, I guess that's some consolation. But silver lining. So, but no, it can be really hard. And I'm not saying that every day I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, life is so great. But I have just tried to build a life for myself where a cameo from the dog here.
Yeah,
hello, what do you have to say?
No other thing.
Yeah, what do you think? Sometimes she just burps on cue, but she didn't do that. And, you know, it just gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, how can I serve and how can I have a fruitful life? Because, you know, like even talking about, you know, having children and fertility and stuff like that, like you can actually be fertile soil even when you're not biologically having children.
Wow, that is good, Delph. That is a word.
Thank you.
Wow.
So encouraging.
You got all the zingers today.
Thanks. Saved it for you. But, you know, and you can. So it's like when I see, you know, the charity community that I've built, or like if you join a new church and you like can build something there, like we are called to be co-creators with God and we're called to build. And I think that when you feel ready to build your family, but you're not in that season yet because you've not met your person yet, you know, it doesn't mean that we just sit and do nothing. Like you can be building and creating. So yeah.
Wow. I'm just trying to process that.
Profound.
Yeah. Okay. So men are not stepping up really.
Yeah. And look, I don't want to be that person who's like, oh, it's the men's fault, because I see it.
I feel every gender blames the other gender.
100%. 100%. Yeah. But I think it's like there's something that I really wish men knew was super attractive. And I don't know if men necessarily like know it. So I'll say it. No, but it's like, it's discipline. Oof. And like, because women are looking for leadership, and ultimately what women truly, truly want and what they find incredibly attractive is to feel safe and secure. So like if you feel like you are with someone who, you know, bringing it back to traditional values, who can provide and protect you, you are going to feel like that, and you can feel softer. And when a woman feels safe, she's like feel
more feminine, more in their frame.
Exactly. And it's like, and she feels held. And I think when a woman is fully in her feminine, she's such an encouragement to the man, because when you're not in those kind of more set roles, it's really hard because you're almost like competing with the other. You can become snide, you can become kind of catty to each other. But when you feel like, you know, you're being held and you're really helping, you know, your man as well. Like, I think there's something really beautiful in that. So discipline. So ultimately when people say things like, oh, muscles, it's like, Well, in a way,
muscles too, though.
spiritual muscles, but like in a way, yeah, that's good because it shows like they have discipline to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym every day. And that shows you like that man will probably be there like as a father.
It's not the actual muscles themselves, it's what it symbolizes.
Exactly. And like the results of that. And it's the same with work. You know, if you've got some of a good work ethic, you just feel safer because you're like, okay, cool. Like, because obviously women, like we have to think biologically and you look like evolutionary and everything. Women are more vulnerable when they're pregnant and, you know, they need a man.
That is a very vulnerable situation.
Very vulnerable.
So they have a reason to be picky.
100. Yeah, you know? Definitely. And I think I heard one of my friends said that a priest said to her, you know, you just have to, you know, you as women, you collect and then you select. I was like, okay.
Is that the roster?
Well, no, but in the sense of like, it is, you know, you want to feel chosen as a woman, but you also want to choose. And the man has to feel chosen and the woman has to feel chosen. Like there has to be. So what I'd like to see, I suppose, is like a little bit more of I don't want to say casual, but more like an informal dating scenario where more people are just having coffee together. Like it's not a big deal and just kind of, you know, talking and seeing because God can really surprise you. And I think the reason, so I've not tried online dating for the past few years. And the reason is because I find it really difficult to see someone in a 2D photo.
Yeah, I don't think dating apps do a good job of presenting the person.
No, I know there are a few where like you can add voice notes or videos, but
it doesn't get the energy, the essence. That's
yeah, the swag.
Yeah,
because some people, it's like you just suddenly see, like I don't know, the way they treat a stranger or something, and your heart, it's like heart to heart. Yeah, I'm getting a lot more into really like this word embodiment. So
you've had more success. Oh, sorry, embodiment. Okay, expand on that.
Well, just kind of like being in person. I think there's something about that that's really beautiful. Like even when you said like, oh, should we do a pod together? I was so happy that you were like, I was like, yeah, do you want to come here? And you were like, yeah. Because obviously I have done like Zoom ones and stuff and it's just
nowhere
not
near
the
as good.
same.
Nowhere near as good.
And I feel the same way in like the dating world. And actually it's been quite... fruitful. Like I think a lot of people are like, oh, but if you're not online you can't get dates, but there are actually different ways to.
No, I mean I have had much more success
offline
when I can actually just be myself.
Yeah,
the apps I find it's like a Las Vegas, like a slot machine. Or
it's tricky. And I mean I know lots of people who've met amazing spouses online, but I don't know if you feel convicted to not. And I think that there's getting a bit more of an offline culture in general. I
was gonna say, are you pro roster then? Would you say?
What does that mean?
I feel like there's a trend now, maybe with the
multi-dating.
Yeah, like I have kind of 5 or 6. I don't know how. Big,
I see. Yeah,
5 or 6 in the DMs, kind of feeling. I don't know. I'm not completely against roster. I get it. But
it's funny, yeah. If you asked me that a couple of years ago, I would have been like, absolutely not. I think that's awful because I think it's just too disposable or just like da 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 da. And also like you're confusing your brain because you might remember like, oh, he told me he went on holiday in Wales, or was it that guy? Like I find that a bit weird. I'm not sure how I feel about the roster. What I think is legit is that you get to know people, because obviously the thing that's slightly unnatural about the way we live now, as opposed to like village days where you just grow up with people, be around people, or you know, our friends and family who've met through university and more kind of natural environments where you have been friends first. It is kind of weird to just like meet someone that you don't know, like a stranger, and then suddenly be like, okay, let's see if we're compatible. So I do think like there needs to be a more casual element of it. Day dates, like coffees, walks,
takes the
edge off.
Yeah, anything at night is more.
It feels
more romantic. Feels more. Even texting late at night, I think it sets a different context.
It definitely sets a different tone.
I think the problem with the roster is that it's, again, a lot of things with this current age, just too many options, and we're kind of searching for this perfect checklist. But the reality is that there's always going to be something. Yeah, we're not perfect. No one is. I think we put too much energy in the finding rather than what you actually build.
Yes.
With the person.
It's like checklist dating.
That's why a lot of arranged marriages work, I think, because they just, all right, this is it.
Yeah.
Let's get on with it.
Well, there's a level of compatibility and commitment in that where it's like we both want this to work and we're going to make this work. And like I read this amazing list. It was by Father Anselm back in like the 1950s, which was like the components you need for a successful marriage. And it was like passion, which I actually love that. A priest said that. Emotional attraction, which I love that term.
Emotional attraction. Would never have thought of that.
See, that's what I think of as that kind of swag I'm talking about. Like something where you can't quite describe it, but it's almost like a level of respect or admiration of the other person.
Just for their personality.
Yeah, just for who they are. And then it's conviction and, oh my goodness, what's the other one? Is the other one compatible? Suitability. So it's like, so already in an arranged marriage, you would probably have the suitability because you've been paired up by your parents. So hopefully they've been thinking. You have the conviction because you both want to go through with marriage. Obviously, you have to see if you have the emotional attraction and the passion. I do believe those things can grow. But I do think you need to have you have to have an ember. Yeah, you have to have an ember, then you can fan that fire throughout your marriage. But yeah, I think the checklist date. And have you heard of the strawberry jam study?
No.
There's a study about how like if someone goes into a supermarket and they want strawberry jam, they go and they see like 12 different brands of strawberry jam, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they're overwhelmed because they're like, I don't know which one to choose. Yeah, too much choice is the paradox of choice. And then when they eventually do choose jam and it will be the strawberry jam, which is what they wanted, what was on their shopping list, they actually leave feeling unsatisfied.
Yeah, that's what, more choice, less satisfaction.
Yeah, and that's just jam.
Same with Netflix.
Yeah.
Never satisfied.
Yes. And I mean, that's by design.
Yeah. And ultimately, I think that is one of the biggest problems is that there is just too much choice. Too much.
Yeah.
Dating apps, social media. Like, I think social media just increased choice. I think if we just stuck to something and just committed and like, okay, I'm going to build regardless, I think there'd be more success.
Agreed.
Okay, that's really good. And what would you say in terms of like the biggest red flags in Christian dating?
Oh, that one's out.
Okay, he's
That's
out.
fine.
He's gone.
He's out. The biggest red flags in Christian dating. Oh my goodness. I think anyone who is obsessed only with being a husband and father, or like vice versa.
What they find their whole identity. Yeah.
Kind of like
they don't have like a career. They don't have another purpose that they're building.
Yeah, almost like they're objectifying you, seeing you as kind of like a part to play in them reaching this next level.
Oh, wow.
So like I have sometimes felt
You've experienced that a lot?
Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes I just think what I don't like necessarily is when people have two very strict specifications. Like, you know, I don't know, maybe a man will be like, oh yeah, I think my wife's going to be 5 years younger than me or 10 years younger than me. I find that strange because I think that maybe you just need to be open to God's will. Like I think when you see someone who's not open to God's will, that's a bit like, a red flag for me definitely is someone who doesn't really have things together because
they haven't got their together.
Exactly. Because I just kind of feel like I'm looking for someone who's going to be the head, the spiritual head and the head of my household and to lead the family. So like that does, to me, I'm a bit like, oh, you're presenting yourself as someone who wants to be a husband, but you've not kind of built anything for yourself
yet. You haven't got anything to invite them into.
Yeah. So that for me, I find tricky. What are the red flags? Such a funny term, isn't
yellow
it?
flags, beige flags.
Green flags. All the flags.
Checkered flags.
I also don't really like people who over spiritualize dating. So like, you know,
like
I don't.
God told me to ask you out.
Yeah. Or when it's like they want to base everything around faith. So it's like the first date, let's go to church or.
Oh no.
Yeah. Like mass dates.
Have you been on a mass date?
I've been on one mass date. No. And I really, it's worse than because obviously cinema is a terrible first date, right? Because cinema, it's like you're just, no talking, you're just sitting there, you feel really anxious. But when you're doing that at mass, you're then sitting there feeling really nervous. You're trying to concentrate on God and what's being said, but you're like, I'm with this guy, I don't know. And then also you bring in like the gossip. Because then people are like, oh, I saw you at church with some guy. Who's that guy?
Yeah.
And you know, so like, it's just not, I don't know. It's not ideal.
How can you make a mass date romantic? Like how can How can you?
I think it's the temptation to be like, look how like holy I am. Like, look how Christian I am. Like, let's do that. And I think it's misconstruing the idea of having Jesus at the center of your dating life, which I think obviously you should. And, you know, everything should be kind of in prayer and be very respectful, you know. Like, I think probably the biggest red flag in Christian dating or just dating in general is not treating the other person like they were made in the image and likeness of God.
Amen.
Like, you can just, I don't know. And I don't know if I've gotten this perfect either, but it's like, why are people ghosting people? Why are people, you know, just like doing these things?
What is the true definition of what quantifies a ghost? Is like, if you're talking on an app.
I know, because then there's the slow fade. I really don't know what the answer to it is. There's a different type,
the quiet quit.
Yeah, exactly. The quiet quit.
The quiet quit, I heard that.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I love alliteration.
Yeah.
I like that. But yeah. And, this is what I don't like. The people who just want to text and text and text and text. And never have the real, like, let's just go for, you know, a day out. Take me to National Trust.
Free, right? Unless you're an AWB member.
Normally, parking's often not free, but you can walk around National Trust. It's so nice. And also, wait a minute, that's a red flag. I don't want someone who's like, oh, is that free? I'll do a free date. No. Like, if the guy has asked me, then I assume he's going to host me and pay.
Yeah. Maybe I have to start doing dates you have to pay for. That's where I'm going wrong.
Yeah, there you go. You can't just be like, oh yeah, if it's free, I'm free at 3 p.m. So it's free. Let's go for a walk. Yeah. Like, I think there's this whole thing of, it's so funny. I saw this video where it was like going 50-50 on a date is like showing that you're not 100% in. And obviously you're not 100% in because you don't know the person. But I do think there's like a level where it's really nice where you're like, someone is investing in this date, then investing to see if this goes.
Regardless of the outcome.
Regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
Because I think there's also this tendency to be like, you know, people feel like they owe someone something. You know, like in the secular world, it's like,
that's all part
dinner.
Of the courting. It's the part of the pursuit, part of the, you know, the knight slaying the dragon.
The peacocking.
Yes, slaying the dragon for his princess.
Yeah. And I think, you know, especially when you're a certain age, like older than like, I don't know, 21, and you can actually afford to like buy a coffee, why wouldn't you? It does show a level of respect and investment, which is nice. Like, so yeah, I'm traditional, just going to say it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely a traditionalist.
Yeah.
And yeah, guys, we need to step up a little bit more, maybe.
I think so, just because it's just so lovely to feel looked after and to feel considered and to feel, you know, like, I don't know, like if you're asking a girl on a date, like just think about it, make it a little bit personal. Like I had one guy once who, because I've got a dog, and he made sure the place was dog friendly and he knows I drive, so he made sure there's parking. It was just really kind. Wow. And I was like, do you know what? That makes me feel really like logistically safe. You know, and like, what a great person to build a life with. I mean, he wasn't for me, but but like,
that's the thing.
Not because of that though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, not because of that, because like the logistical stuff I just found so attractive and so just like, oh, he's so thoughtful and kind.
Because I feel like kind.
Like the nice guy.
Too kind.
Did you see what Matthew McConaughey said about nice guys?
What did he say?
I can't really remember it now, but I'll try and paraphrase it, which was like, a good man is someone who knows his values, knows his convictions, and will stand by it. A nice person is someone who gets by. Oof. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, if a good man needs to, he won't be a nice guy.
Amen.
And I thought that was really cool. So I understand what you're saying in the sense of, you don't necessarily want someone who you just don't feel like you have a sense of them. Like, so for example, most Catholics don't eat meat on Friday. It's kind of like a sacrificial thing. Yeah, just like to mirror Good Friday, we don't eat meat. So like
Friday though.
Every Friday.
Okay.
I think you only need to abstain in Lent, but during Lent, but most Catholics will do it every Friday, just kind of as like a sacrificial thing. And I remember going on a dinner date on a Friday, and I said to the guy, I was like, oh, do you eat meat on Fridays? Because like I said, it's not like it's just most people do.
It's not a non-negotiable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just asked, and he was like, no, I don't. But if you want to, I'll join you. And I was a bit like, because for me it's like,
they didn't like that.
I didn't like that.
Really?
No, because I was like,
but then what's the difference with
if you're convicted? No, because if that's your conviction, that's your belief that you do this little sacrifice for God every Friday. Why would you drop that because I don't do it? Like I found it a bit, and I understand the sentiment was like wanting me to feel open to do it. But I don't know. Like I really want to see someone who is themselves.
He didn't eat meat on the Friday. Is that what you're saying?
So he never ate it, but then he said, but if you do, I'll join you.
Right.
So it was kind of like bending.
That's a cool kind of conviction that you're just...
Yeah, so like at that point I was a bit like...
the car park scenario.
The car park scenario was just really kind and considerate. And thinking about the other person.
Yes.
But not bending yourself for the other person. Just like really considering them. Yeah. Like I heard of this older couple and it was so lovely. It was like they always competed with each other to be kinder to one another. So like their marriage was almost like a competition of kindness of the other. And I know competition sounds like intense, but it was almost like they were just always trying to put the other one before themselves, ahead of themselves. And because they were both doing that equally, they both felt so loved and so respected, and they had like an amazing relationship. You know, it was like self gift, but also self-giving, sacrificial kind of love, but not in a way that's like, but in a way that you're trusting the other person's also sacrificing. So you're never in lack. I think that's really nice.
Wow. Thank you so much.
This
has
been
really good. Thank you. And I really enjoyed this, honestly. Really good.
Me too.
And I'm sure we'll do it again at some point, and we'll put it out. I don't know where. I'm trying to wrap it up.
Just in that. Yeah, okay. No, all sounds good. Thanks so much, Rob. Bye. God bless everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.